How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Death of a Ghost Hunter. This is from 2007. It was directed by Sean Tretta and stars Patti Tindall, Mike Marsh, Davina Joy, and Lindsay Page. Now, over here in the States, we know this as Death of a Ghost Hunter, but fun fact, in some parts of Europe, this was retitled as Paranormal Investigations and was the launch of an unofficial series. Basically, a lot of low-budget American films about ghost hunters retitle them and make them part of the Paranormal Investigations series. Kind of a cool idea there. Anyway, though, this one was one that I was really curious about. I had seen this poster a few times. This creepy girl, ghost hunter green, the record thing at the bottom there. I thought this looked like a fun movie and I really wanted to check out and see what it was about. I'm a big fan of found footage and I was hoping this would be a good creepy little found footage movie. But that's not exactly what it is. First of all, it's only about half found footage. Basically, it's a regular movie about ghost hunters, but because ghost hunters lack their cameras, about half of this movie is in-camera, in-universe point of view. So I guess you could say a blended perspective. But also, this isn't really super creepy. It is a very low-budget movie. And the thing is, if you guys know low-budget movies, they're susceptible to low-budget problems like stiffness and weird moments, and they can't do everything they want to do. And this movie isn't a great movie. There's lots of parts that don't work, but it was somehow strangely watchable, and that's kind of a weird thing. I was watching this movie and I was saying, that didn't work, that's weird, why did they do that? But I also did want to just keep watching it. I thought it was somehow really just strangely entertaining, and I liked it, despite it not working. I think why I liked it, though, is because of the ghost hunting angle. The topic was really well researched and really well thought out. If you guys watch ghost hunting TV, you'll see a lot of stuff from the TV shows in this movie. Theories about what ghosts are, setting up a camera system, catching those EVPs. If you guys like ghost hunting, the people who made this movie also like ghost hunting. The atmosphere really does stand out. That ghost hunter night vision green is all over this movie, and I think the passion really does shine through. So even though this movie is low budget, and even though lots of it doesn't work, it still had me, it still entertained me. So again, it may not be for everyone. It may just be for those ghost hunting fans. I liked it. It's not a great movie, but I liked it. In regards to the faults, though, yeah, there are a lot of them. I mean, going right into this movie, there's a large section of opening narration where it kind of feels like an audiobook with a background element, and then it abruptly stops and switches back to being a regular movie. I don't know what that open narration was about. Maybe they had a sound issue or something, but it was super weird, and I was like, is the whole movie gonna be like this? And no, it wasn't. But then you would get things like a few stiff line reads here and there, and there was some clunky expository dialogue at places. At times it did feel like a point-and-click mystery game, especially when they found a clue or something. And there is a certain element of trying to make it scarier in post, with those scary flashbacks and quick cuts and doing a little bit of post-blurring of the footage. So yeah, there was some cheesy editing here, which actually kind of does make it feel more like a ghost show. And also that song. I think it's a piano music, but this little creepy song, you're like, okay, that's cool. And they use it over and over and over again. Yeah, that got a little too much play there. But yeah, I don't know what it is about it. It's a low-budget movie with several of the low-budget movie faults, but it's a movie about ghost hunting, and it's a movie that says, we're a ghost hunting movie, dang it. We're gonna be a ghost hunting movie. And it's one of those cases of just nailing one element really well and that being a spine that holds up so much of the rest of this. So not a super strong recommendation, but if you guys watch a lot of ghost hunting stuff, and if you're into this, I think there's lots of people like myself that would really enjoy this movie, despite its flaws. I guess in order to analyze it further, let's dive in a little bit. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and do a bit of analysis. So no major spoilers, but let's dive in a little deeper. We open up with a bit of talking about what a ghost hunter is, and we will get this thing that says the following case is one of the most tragic ever recorded, and that the lead ghost hunter would die. And at first I was like, you spoiled the ending. And then I remembered I was watching a movie called Death of a Ghost Hunter, and I'm like, well, I guess I can't get mad there. But anyway, we then see a montage describing why the house is haunted, and basically the story will be a woman went home and found her family massacred. She couldn't take it and ended her own life. But that's not exactly what we see in this flashback, and there's this whole thing with an unattended baby in a bathtub that's not at all described anywhere else. So we know there's a certain element of the story that's not exactly true, and that will be part of the mystery. We then jump to our main character, and yeah, with heavy narration, I kind of wonder if the sound was just messed up in the beginning of this movie. I don't know, but because she narrates so much, we do get the idea that ghost hunting is very technical, and that does make the thing seem more thought out and realized, which I guess I can appreciate. But basically, she wants to believe in ghosts, and she wants to know about the afterlife, and she criticizes other ghost hunters for jumping to conclusions too fast because they want that proof, but she approaches things skeptically, saying, look, I have to weed everything else out just so that the little proof I do have means more. She gets hired by the current owner of the haunted house from the opening, and he says, I'll give you a bunch of money if you investigate and tell me what's up with my house, and the big sum of money is $5,000. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's nothing to sneeze at, but so many of these other movies are like, I'll give you $500,000 or something, but yeah, I'll do it for $5,000, sure. Anyway, she's not going to be alone. She has this team. We obviously have the camera guy who's going to lead to a lot of the found footage half of this movie. We then get a reporter to document things from an unbiased perspective. And then we get Mary Young. Mary Young, someone from the church who no one knew was coming, and there's no key for her. Yeah, this does lead into a pretty obvious plot twist, and it is super strange. The characters are like, okay, stranger, just come on in. Whatever, though. Mary Young is the standout character. Now, I've said before, the Carrie's mom trope is one of my least favorite. Just reading through Stephen King's work, I got really tired of the religious fanatic trope. It's super overplayed. And then you don't just have Stephen King's work, you have a lot of people that were mimicking him. It's a trope that I really wish we would retire. But that being said, Mary Young. Mary Young is absolutely crazy, and every now and then she just says something completely out of left field and completely horrible, or she does something absolutely nuts, like the reporter girl will tick her off, and then there's a scene where she pees in her luggage, and I'm like, this is nuts. Even though it's a trope that I think is horribly overdone, it's just done in such a bizarre way here that I'm like, okay, Mary Young, you can stay. You go do something terrible. That's gonna be great. But anyway, we get to hear them talk, and we get to find out, just how much the main ghost hunter wants to know what happens when we die, and now she's going to be faced with one that's, for like the first time, providing her with real solid concrete evidence. Like I said, the ghost girl from the front, she shows up really early. There's a few cool scenes and a few, like, let's analyze the footage, I think there's something here, or go through the audio and look for an EVP. Again, classic ghost hunting stuff, and that is the meat and bones of this movie, and that is where a lot of it is. Now, yeah, it's obviously played up, and there is some moments in editing where they try to make it scarier, and yeah, sometimes the stiffness of the acting reminds you you're watching a movie, but whatever. It's classic ghost hunting atmosphere, and that's a large chunk of it. And I really did like going through and solving the mystery. I won't ruin the ending, but I will say, with the ending, you find out that they really did take their time to decide, this is what's going on with our haunting, this is what the backstory is, and it's pretty well thought out. Although that being said, we do get some narration again at the ending there, because why not? And I do actually think, again, I won't spoil it, but the final scene of this movie is pretty good. A good, surreal, creepy moment with the way this ends. Overall, I do think this movie does have moments that work. Again, it's in general not a great movie. It is really low budget, and it really does have the stiffness behind it, but it's just a little more thought out than you might expect, and you could tell the people who made it cared, and they nailed the ghost hunting atmosphere. So, not the best thing ever, but strangely enjoyable if you're into this kind of thing. So, maybe not the strongest recommendation ever, but I liked it, so again, I know it's bad, but I liked it. Anyway though, I say, if this is your thing, check it out. There's some fun to be had. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. If you guys want to see me talk about similar movies, you can click right here and see more. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.